welcome and welcome back to Ella Pastoral. If this is your first time ever coming upon this channel right here, typically I make videos talking about all of my favorite pieces of media. And as you guys saw by the thumbnail and the title, today we're going to be talking about what a Nanami x Tiana Doujin plot would actually be. I also wanted to make this video so I could show you guys my birthday gifts. I don't know if you guys can probably see this, but my friend got me this light up Nanami statuette thing. You guys can't really see it because the glare is glaring because of my ring light. But my friend also got me, let me see if y'all can actually see this. My friend also got me a really cute miniature Nanami miniature statuette too. I think it's supposed to be like a fake Funko Pop. But like, guys, like, get into it. So for the rest of the video, I'm just gonna be including how I made Nanami and Tiana in The Sims and explaining the plot of how I would do a Nanami x Tiana Doujin. So if you're interested in that, keep on watching.
Hey y'all, it's officially voiceover Emma, and I'm just gonna make a couple of disclaimers here before y'all start commenting in the comment section like y'all love to do. First, please ignore my voice because I'm actively so sick right now. I think I may have an upper respiratory infection, but I wanted to make content, and until I'm able to go to an urgent care, y'all gonna have to deal with it. Two, please ignore any loud, obnoxious noise that you may hear in the background. The day I'm filming this is Christmas, and my family is naturally loud, and I cannot control them, so please ignore that. And so let's get into the actual content. So as you guys can see, I'm making Princess Tiana right now in The Sims, and I've just been feeling this ship so much. Like, a ship hasn't moved me like this since Suri and Namor from Wakanda Forever. I'm making a whole video dedicated to them that I'm hoping can get out in the beginning of January, but we'll see with the fact that, I'm literally sick. But God, I love this ship so much. Even though it's been months since this whole JJKX Disney Princess thing was a ship, I have just been obsessed with them. I've been keeping up with the small artists who still make Princess Tiana x Nanami art. But I was like, you know what? I have to do my due diligence to keep this fandom alive. Another person who's really doing their due diligence has to be Tiana Hook. She has just released 2 videos, y'all. One is a unhinged deep dive on the plot of Princess and the Frog, and you guys can hear me in there too. You can hear me before I lost my voice in there, so check that one out. And she also did a video talking about the dark retelling of Princess of the Frog. Like, Disney has this whole dark versions of their fairy tales thing that they do. I love that video, so check that video out too. But I was like, oh my goodness, guys, what if that cover, like, the cover that I showed in my JJKX Disney Princess video thing was a real thing? And just like how I've been obsessing over Nanami x Tiana, I've just been thinking about that specific Doujin cover by 8 Venus or XII Venus, because if you guys know me, you guys know I'm obsessed with like doujins, manhwa, especially isekai type things. And the fact that the title is called I Got Reincarnated as the Male Lead of a Princess Who's Supposed to Turn into a Frog, I've just been thinking about this for so long. So while you guys watch me high-key struggle to make Nanami and Tiana in The Sims, I'm practically going to go over what I would have had in a manhwa / doujin that involved these two. I'm reading this out of my favorite notebook, so please ignore any like rustling you're hearing because that's what that is. But when I read this to my friends while one of my friends was doing her sister's hair, they literally looked like they're about to do an intervention. Like, you know how they do like those voice interventions in TV shows for their friends? That's how they were looking. But guys, I promise these ideas are so good. So how my story would have to start with Dr. Facilier. Dr. Facilier would still be one of the main villains in my story, but he wouldn't be the only villain, you feel me? So how this story will start is that Dr. Facilier is making deals with his people on the other side, but instead of making a deal with, what's that guy's name? Oops, Naveen. I need to stop doing him so dirty, but I really forgot his name. Instead of making a deal with Naveen, he's making deals with his other friends in order to open up portals. Because when I was watching the movie to be a part of Haryana Hook's, unhinged breakdown of Princess and the Frog, when he said he wanted to take over Naveen's body in order to rule New Orleans, I never understood that. Because literally, we see that he plans to kill the butler who stole Naveen's body after he gets married to Charlotte. Like, I don't get that. I really don't. So anyway, back to what my stuff is. So he's opening up all of these portals, and one of these portals opens up to the JJK universe, and on the other side of, the portal, we see my fine man, Nanami, fighting one of those grotesque little demon things. And while he's fighting one of the creatures, him and the creature falls into one of these portals into the Princess Tiana side of the portal, and the portal closes up. But Nanami doesn't really got time, to be focusing on these mysterious portals, because he still has, the creature to defeat, because my man is focused, as you guys know. And so he kills the creature, and now he's looking from side to side like, where am I? Because this is not where I'm at. This is not where I'm at. And he was low-key a little distracted by the fact that he got transported to a whole new world, that he kind of let the creature get a couple licks in by accident. Not every man can be perfect. Nanami is, but he has his, couple mistakes that happen, And so he's walking around New Orleans, specifically around the area of Tiana's restaurant, and he walks into the diner beat up. So it's dark. There's no one there because, Tiana works them late shifts, so everyone has gone home. The patrons have gone home. Her other co-workers have gone home. But since she needs that overtime, she's like, guys, I'll stay up and clean the restaurant. And while she's cleaning up, doing her 1-2-1-2, trying to get that overtime money, this is where she sees Nanami. And she's like, oh my God, who is this man beat up inside my restaurant? All I wanted to do was clean up, do what I needed to do, and go home. Now I have the random, what's that word they love to use? Rapscallions. I know that is not what they say. Rapscallions of the street coming into my place of work. And Nanami is like, yo, I really need your help. Like, I'm really beat up. And Tiana's looking at this dude, and he doesn't look dangerous. He just looks beat up. So she's like, I'm not going to make a habit of this, but I'm not about to see someone in need like this and not help them. And the reason why I characterized her like this, because she was willing to kiss a frog in order to help Naveen. Obviously, there was some benefit for her too, but the fact that she even kissed the frog really goes to show you that she has a kind spirit in her. And so after practically explaining that he needs help, Tiana gets like a very common first aid kit and is like wrapping him up. And she's like, so are you going to explain to me how you got in a situation like this? And he practically goes and explains like, I'm not from here. I don't know where I am. And she's looking at him like, oh, and he's drunk. I got a drunk man who's beat up in my restaurant. And he's practically looking at her like, I know this seems outrageous. It would sound outrageous to me if someone told me this as well, but I'm definitely not from here. And then she's like, okay, whatever. And obviously he's looking at her like, oh, this girl does not believe me. And at this point, he's like, okay, I'll show you that I'm not like a random drunkard that you found on the street who low-key snuck in here. I'll give you my expensive Rolex watch. Because if you guys don't know, Nanami is rich. Like he walking around in his nice steamed out suits, but behind that nice steamed out suits is cash. He be keeping it on him. he's like, you know what, if you help me figure out how to get back home, I'll let you have this Rolex watch. I can tell that you're working this late shift doing overtime, wink wink, not because you love it, but because you need the money. This Rolex watch, if you go like to a pawn shop, could probably cause you to go into early retirement at your young age. So just help me out and we can get all that stuff situated. And so practically, right, the rest of the story, how I wrote it down, will be them going on quirky adventures. Nanami practically teaching Tiana how to fight against all of these portal creatures, because in the background, Dr. Facilier is still opening these portals to the JJK world, trying to cause havoc around New Orleans to practically get Charlotte's father to do business deals with him in order for him to actually get control over, you know, New Orleans, because the main way people get power is by destabilizing regions and, you know, coming in with their own solution. Like you guys have seen it, you know, in history and what's not. And IDK what the actual ending of this story would be, but it would end up with them going to Mama Odie, asking them for help in order to practically get Nanami back home, because Nanami has to go back home eventually, sadly. And so Mama Odie's like, she uses her magic, she gives the matching necklaces, and he is able to go back to his world. And then the Shibuya arc happens. But before the thing that happens to Nanami happens, the necklace gets activated. Tiana's necklace gets activated. Nanami's necklace gets activated. And boom, he goes back to Tiana's world. The necklace gets destroyed. Nanami is all beat up, but he stays in Princess Tiana's world, and they get to live a very happy life. And so all the stuff that happens in the Shibuya arc, it doesn't happen to my man. It does not happen to my man in this story. And so when I was telling this story to my friends or whatever, they're like, Emma, how does he know English? So how I would explain that is that either A, Nanami is just so talented and amazing, he's a polyglot, meaning that he knows several languages, or B, through the magic of the portals, it kind of forces you to adapt to whatever region you go to. So like, let's say it was the Powerpuff Girl world where Dr. Facilier was opening these portals up in. The girls would look more like Princess Tiana than themselves. Just follow my logic, y'all. Just follow my logic. And my other friend was like, my friend Dami, if you're watching this is for you. She was like, oh, is the portal like a domain expansion? And sure, it can be whatever you guys want it to be, but that's just how I would do it if it was like a manhwa/doujin type situation. I didn't even really talk about the Sims that you guys are seeing on the screen, but I really wanted them to have matching outfits. But after struggling to find outfits based off their own iconic looks, I was like, you know what? Everyone gets to keep their iconic look that they had. Princess Tiana and I think her green or blue dress. I forgot which dress I chose for her in the thumbnail. And Nanami with his suit. Like, I try to give him like a prince outfit, because for one of the quirky scenes that I imagined them going on, they would have to break into a masquerade ball in order to get Dr. Facilier, because in my quirky plot, he's actually rising in ranks in New Orleans by opening these portals and spreading fear in New Orleans. But I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. Let me just stick to what I know. I didn't actually make this Nanami. I'm going to put the creator who made this Nanami in the description for you guys to have Nanami in your game. But when I tell you guys I was struggling real bad, this is me trying to show off the traits, but just look at how I was struggling to find a hair that really encompassed, you know, Nanami's beauty. Like, y'all see him with the braids? I was trying my best, y'all, but I decided to go. It was a struggle, guys. Like, no matter how much I tried, I could not find a hair that really gave Nanami. Like, look at me looking at this reference picture, trying to find a hair that matched. But yeah. Before I show you guys the final pictures that I took after making my Nanami and Tiana Sims, I want to say special thanks to all of my Patreons. You guys have just been such a support throughout this entire year. I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without y'all. Now let me show you guys the final pictures. This is what I got for Nanami and Tiana. As you guys can see, I'm so indecisive in terms of actually having them have one official look. So that's why you're going to be seeing them literally have so many different looks throughout these pictures. But let me know, how would you guys do a Nanami and Tiana Doujin if you guys had the ability, the money, the anything to literally make this story? And what other changes you guys would make to my story if you guys had the opportunity to? I can't wait to read y'all's comments on this because y'all be so damn creative in my comment section. I'm literally so excited, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Bye.